The US military is making waves in the Caribbean, and everyone's asking, why now and what's really at stake? Over the past few weeks, the region has seen a dramatic increase in American military presence, sparking headlines and heated debates from Washington to Caracas. We're not just talking about a few extra patrol boats. This is a full-scale show of force. Warships, destroyers, and even a nuclear-powered submarine cruising just off Venezuela's coast. The message? The US wants everyone to know it's serious. That's not your average anti-drug patrol. This is a level of military activity the Caribbean hasn't seen in years, and it's raising eyebrows across the globe. Officially, the US says it's all about fighting drug cartels and so-called narco-terrorists. The narrative is that these operations are meant to disrupt the flow of illegal drugs into the United States and protect American communities. President Trump's administration claims it's targeting Venezuela's government, which they label a narco-terror cartel. The US has accused President Maduro and his inner circle of running a criminal enterprise, funneling drugs and money across borders. They've even doubled the bounty for Venezuela's President Maduro, $50 million. That's one of the highest bounties ever placed on a sitting world leader. That's wild, especially since he's a sitting head of state. But let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The Caribbean isn't just about sunny beaches and cruise ships. It's a region with a long, complicated history of foreign intervention and power struggles. Historically, it's been a chessboard for US power. Think disaster relief, coups and covert operations, and that massive Panama invasion back in '89. The US has always seen the Caribbean as its strategic backyard, a place where it can't afford to lose influence. This time, though, experts say the US force is too big for just stopping smugglers, and the scale of the deployment suggests there's more going on beneath the surface, but it's also not quite big enough for a full-on invasion. So, what's the real objective here? Is it a warning, a rehearsal, or something else entirely? So, what's really going on? Theories are flying and the stakes are high. Defense analysts suggest the US might be flexing its muscles to pressure Venezuela, send a message to other regional players, monitor Cuba, or test new military ideas. Some even speculate it's about keeping Russia and China, both of whom have interests in Venezuela, on their toes. Some call it gunboat diplomacy, showing off without actually firing shots. It's a classic tactic: demonstrate strength, hope you don't have to use it. And get this, most US-bound cocaine actually takes the Pacific route, not the Caribbean. So the official explanation doesn't quite add up for many observers. So is this really about drugs, or is it about something much bigger, like geopolitics, oil, or regime change? Or is it about sending a message? The US wants to remind the world and its rivals that it still calls the shots in its own hemisphere. On the ground, the reaction is tense. People in Venezuela are anxious, unsure if this is the start of something bigger or just another round of saber rattling. Venezuela's leaders are denouncing these moves as threats, a prelude to regime change. They're calling on allies and the international community to condemn what they see as US aggression. Maduro is mobilizing millions of militia and rolling out drones, preparing for what he calls the defense of Venezuelan sovereignty. Meanwhile, local fishermen and residents watch US warships glide past their coastlines, wondering what tomorrow might bring. For many, it's a surreal sight, one that brings both fear and curiosity. In the islands, people aren't sure if this means more security or more risk. Some hope the US presence will deter crime, while others worry it could make them a target. So is this a routine patrol, a warning shot, or the opening move of something much bigger? The uncertainty is fueling speculation everywhere, from local bars to international newsrooms. Or is it a calculated move to keep adversaries guessing and allies reassured? The US military rarely does anything by accident. Every move is watched, analyzed, and debated. The truth might be a mix of all three: strategy, politics, and a bit of old-school power play. In the end, it's about influence, leverage, and making sure the US stays on top, and a bit of old-school power play. The Caribbean has always been a stage for these high-stakes games, from the Cold War to today. But what do you think? Is this about security, politics, or something else entirely? Is the US protecting its backyard, making a stand for its interests, or risking a dangerous escalation? Or is it playing with fire, risking unintended consequences that could spiral out of control? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep this conversation going. Your voice matters here. And stay tuned, I'll keep breaking down the news others just skim. We'll keep digging for the real story together. See you in the next video.